Greetings everyone, please give Mother make sure everything's set on up. Of course the YouTube thumbnail did not upload. Oh well. Looks like everything's booting on up. Let me give me a moment to turn on the live chat windows. And looks like everything is good to go. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And something I did actually forget to turn on was my avatar. While that's booting on up, I'll take a moment to find a game. Let's see now. That's a name I recognize, but the game has not gone on for long enough. An eye for at least 20 minutes, ideally. Lolo Walrus. That's definitely Age of Empire's name. Above average. Let's see if we can't find much higher. These names I recognize. That name seems familiar. Probably scored over in a previous time. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Troll Pack. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age Mythology replay. Small on top left side as the green Nuwa, we have Troll Pack. Small on bottom side as the red Hades, we got Ver Super Saiyan. Saiyajin? I think that's not Saiyan. It's a little bit more there. Of course, I have trouble speaking or pronouncing anything. And it looks like just a little bit there. That's the standard scroll speed. I'm just used to other game scroll speed. My apologies, but let's actually properly get started now. Fast forward since the early eco phase. We do have, of course, creation. It has been, that's just a temple there. Creation gives you temporary peasants. Yep, I've been getting that mixed up with Fuxies. And either way, when it comes to the initial minor gods, we do have Hotu or Zuannu. Gives access to the Kon Key, which is a hybrid unit, can take flight. Good harassment unit there. Increasing drop-offs generate 5% more resources. That's better than collection rate. It makes your resources last now divide 5% more, but gets collected 5% faster. Very good, and scales with other collection upgrades. More sentry tower stuff. Villagers build stuff faster, which is not too bad. Makes your town centers work faster as well. Get more villagers, but 10% is not too great. Over here, we do have the Quillen, which is a healing unit. Reduces the cost of training yards and trains unit faster, which is nice, but not super powerful. Some new human soldiers, every 5 human soldiers have died of that type. So it looks like we get better replacements and Quillen stuff. Vanish is okay. Earthwall is a little bit better, so we'll probably see Hotu if I would hazard a guess. And we do actually have Hotu being researched, and we do have Athena over here. Athena gives access to the Restoration God Power, very good God Power. Allows Minos Aegis Shield, gives you units, infantry units more pierced armor, and the Chinese tend to put a lot of units in range damage, so that's probably going to be very useful. And Sarasia. The alternative was Ares, which Pestilence is not super great. Gold Edition is a little bit more powerful. Cyclopus is a good myth unit. Spear's Panic makes a pretty good upgrade for your hoplites, as well as improve your Prodromos. And having better Toxae is not bad, and early and better high pass is not bad as well. Two very usable minor gods on the Greek side. It's also good that Hades is not immune to deploy out his sentinels. You want to deploy it out in a location, help protect yourself for raid. Remember, as always, well, it's only good versus protecting yourself for raids. Looks like the Khafus are heading over to the east to claim this settlement. And Red looks to do the same as well. So I'm going to fast forward once again. Creation Myth has been summoned, as was Earthen Walls. Creation Myth was utilized to help build this town center. Don't know if that's the best usage, but a quite understandable use to say the least. Scout is taking a bit of fire there. How many clay peasants do you get? I think it's like 4 per age. Whoops. Yep. Or 2 per age. So it just gives you some initial units to start getting stuff built quickly. There goes the scout there. I need to fix the Chinese hotkeys for myself so I can move around the camp with WASD and not get overwritten with other or share ones. Oops, my apology, missed this engagement there. The Kong key is getting picked off by our Achilles, and you can't really take off and escape from the melee heroes because they have, of course, all have a ranged anti-myth unit attack. Another town set, of course, build over here, so both in the eco phase. I'm not sure. Oh, there's Norm the Minotaur. Storehouse being built. Oh, looks like Puma's being obtained. And we do have Gomang there. And Hades is aging up to Aphrodite. Let's take a quick look at Aphrodite. Aphrodite, of course, provides a very powerful god power, the Cursed God Power. Give access to the enemy line, a pretty good crowd control myth unit. Golden apples make your villagers gather favor quicker, which is always very nice to have. Makes your villagers move faster and build faster and carry more. Very good economic upgrade. Moves faster and makes it so they take less time for this trips. Increased care capacity also reduce the need for making trips. So it is a very good economic upgrade. It's least useful with gold, but very useful for wood, as was farms. And of course get the Argonaut. And of course for New Wu. New Wu's going for Gumong. Gives access to the forest protections, an occasional snare around buildings. The Tao Wu, a headbutting siege unit. Vibrant land causes trees periodically grow near a house, so you get a bit of a supply of free trees. Not a massive, powerful effect, but 50% extra production rate for wood is not bad as well. Makes your cavalry take less hack damage and move faster. And that's ship upgrade, so that's pretty much it. So with that, it's likely the Chinese players going to be eyeing for a bit more cavalry composition. Or has more of a capability for cavalry composition. We got some basic walls being salvaged by Red, very nice. And we do have now the sages being deployed in the field. But overall, both players still eyeing for eco phase, so let's talk about what their age 4 gods could be. We got Hephaestus, of course, for the Colossus. Your unique crosswind can bonus damage and make them better versus myth units. And make your armor attacks cheaper, so you can wait for any armor attacks until you get this research and then get them for dirt cheap. Or you get Artemis, gives you access to the Earthquake God Power versus Plentyvault. Plentyvault's good for the long run. Earthquake is an immensely powerful anti-structure one. Both God Powers are excellent. Chimera is, of course, a good frontline myth unit along with the Colossus. Of course, get your rain soldiers get a bit of poison damage, which just sucks. Don't worry about poison damage, but it does get your rain soldiers plus 10% damage. For your need crossbow, instead, better to go for Hephaestus. And chimeras get additional melee attack, nope, and of course got a bit more bonus damage for smith units. So overall, I believe Hepatus is better, but Earthquake and is very nice. Don't get me wrong about that. I'm more leaning towards the other mythological improvements. Zhang Zaya is fancy way forward, or how to pronounce it. I can't pronounce anything. Like the word wolf. As some people say wolf, and that's completely incorrect.
Metimos.
And of course, when it comes to green, we could see Gong Gong or Zurong, which I really never see Zurong. In fact, have I even cast a single game with him? Gong Gong gives you a massively powerful god power, good versus structures and infantry, or human soldiers. You got the Flying Dragon, which is actually a little bit overrated in my opinion. It can be nice, but can be easily shot down, and is horrible for structures, only does pierce damage. Improve your hero hit points by 30% and give them both hands. Oh. Looks like Curse was utilized there to stall against the White Horse Cavalry. And got a bunch of piggies here to wee to all the way to their new home. My stomach. The goats are being obtained. Here comes the Nemean Lion, and the wall will be saved.
请下命令.
A little bit of red there. Red could eye for some stone walls, help protect his flanks. But he is going for heavy metal cavalry. He's going for Hepatus, which can combo quite nicely with Aphrodite, since you generally, in my opinion, want to go for rush out your second Plenty Vault as soon as you can. Back to the... Oh, we do have Gong Gong being selected there. Hepatus is being researched. Got two Baolays being put on the field to protect the central gold. This map is a bit of a King Hill style, with offering a good amount of gold in the center as a point of contention. And red has a good number of hoplites. Looks like he's doing the technique of skimping out on the armory text, but still probably could go for medium hoplites. Though you do need a large number of forces on the field to make medium hoplites worth their while. Green, this town center could be interrupted. Red has decent force here. Going for the advanced defenses. Both sides are not very strong. It's really hard for me to tell who will win this fight. The Coffins could be used for fire support. The ballet does find Ajax. So got the Nemean Lion and the Norm the Minotaur alive. And soon the Colossus. Red has right now 3 town centers. Blue-green only has 2. This will be a third, and has more civilians in the field. Wonder if Red had trouble with villager production for a time. Not sure. Got some levies. Got the mediums.
Sure though.
Oops. Yep. Gotta make sure not to have civilians selected. Here comes the cavalry. No stone walls just yet. They are heavy cavalry as well. So Podromos will be a good counter. Hoplites are a decent counter as well.
Πρόσταγμα.
80s could go ahead and get more villagers onto favor to start getting the max. I would just say go for at least a soft cap to get out as many of the Plenty Vaults as can. He is going for the Forge Olympus, reducing the cost of armory text by 75%, so they're basically dirt cheap. I am curious what relics he may have obtained as well. We do have range soldiers increased max range by 1, not bad. Oh, howdy, sorry, I just saw your comment. And villagers gather 10% faster at farms, which is not too fantastic, but very nice to have, don't get me wrong. Let's see, temple is... where is it? This is the original town center. There's the temple. He does have the caravan increased speed and reduced cost. This is a very powerful relic. And siege weapons are cheaper. Not bad. Going for a quaternary. I don't know about that word. Town center.
Πρόσταγμα.
We have now the fortress here. We've got Chuko News and the White Horse Cavalry. The White Horse Cavalry do have a range special attack, but they're not classified as range, so Peltas will not get any bonus damage to them. Here's a group of Peltas. Hoplites trying to engage. Nemean Lion and the Tao Wei is engaging each other. The Colossus is battering down the Machine Workshop now, offering good crush damage. Here comes the Tide. We'll strike everything, and we'll go through the trees. Removing the natural cover there, and that restoration there kept his units top health, so he's only got inconvenience. It was a god power for a god power, and that's probably a good trade for Red, changing a age 2 god power from age 4 god power. The Colossus has been knocked out, the Kulin Long is being knocked out. Chiron is now a Dragon Slayer. Three Shades now being established there. Going for more Achilles and going for Perseus as well. More White Horse Cavalry. They do have bonus damage versus range. Massive number of the Chuko News being established, which are journalists with high DPS, so backline range unit. Health has a 20 range. There's that big AoE stun from the hero. Takes out this structure there. Looks like this hero got really bugged out. Oh, that's what's going on. Terracotta Rider summoned. That's probably also unrelated, since it's a militia ability from the town center. Another Prolong being established here. He's going for Master Prolong, trying to go for Champion Cavalry now. Champion range and melee infantry being established by Red.
Make it.
I think he does have a good number of armor upgrades. Hard to say at the exact moment, wasn't paying too close attention. The large number Prolong, he needs to get out some more myth units or heroes. Ajax Marie summon. There's Chiron. Big round of shades here. They're not great, but there are 3. More White Horse Cavalry being salvaged. Ajax needs to start throwing the hooks on the Prolong. Siege weapon advancing. Now we've got Champion range being researched, going for a large number of hipfire archers for counter infantry as well as counter building. Ajax goes down. Chiron's getting some hits there on the Smith units. And there's the force protection there. Fire just being picked off by the Peltas and Tox Phase. No unique crossbow. He could go with unique crossbow helps or hit structures rather than going for the siege weapons. They do a good job at that. Not to mention they also do a good job with all other targets, being a ranged unit rather than siege weapon. Prolong caused an issue. We've got now Achilles and Ajax forward. I don't know where Perseus went. I know he built one. Could be idle somewhere. A large number of Prolong there. More Heliopoli being deployed on the field. And Red is going for basic queue of donkey caravans. Just a small queue, I guess supplementary on the field. More attack has been salvaged. Red's trying to see some gold in the center of the map. There's still gold back at home he has access to. Can't say how much at this moment. Actually, it's going for the town center as well. Prolongs have only rings, since they are completely worthless for structures. I think even Sentry Tower can 1v1 them. But the villagers are getting hit by the various cavalry units there, and the Peltas get knocked out by the Quilong. There is a large number of Quilong there. There's Perseus. Large number of forward infrastructure being pulled up by Red, Peltas, and Toxphase. Not Toxphase, Hoplites. See a lot of throwing swords from this guy. Quilong still getting some damage on out. Achilles does go down. Good number of Quilongs haven't shot down. In replace of white, some mixing more Champion Tiger Cavalry along the white Horse Cavalry. More Quilong, more Fire Archers. Both sides lacking a bit of a production queue from military units. Red's pushing forward, decent force. Green's not going for much at the moment. Red's now advancing. Does get another massive stun there. A good number of Peltas there, but the Peltas being annihilated by the Quilongs. Another round Terracotta Riders being summoned to run down the siege weapons. He has gone for heavy siege weapons now. I didn't say they're recognized as myth units. So heroes in theory should not get bonus damage to them. More Quilong being summoned. Do cost 26 favor, but looks like he's been maintaining a good supply of favor. Red's counterattacking now. Another round of heroes being established. He can also get his Gastro unique myth unit there, or unique human soldier, which can be upgraded for additional bonus savers to myth use to help him out against these guys. Right now he's actually having trouble with these guys. He is trying to research that upgrade, the Olympian weapons. And now he's going for his Gastrophericos, his unique crossbowman. More of this infrastructure is starting to go on down. Axe cars taking out some of the structures. The heroes are advancing, trying to take out those dragons. Hoplites engage in, of course, these units, and they do go ahead and get spawns in a melee infantry there, so the Hoplites still be very useful in this situation. Chiron there, Achilles as well. Picks off a couple more of those dragons. He's trying to put some more villagers on favor right now. Axe carts just still being annoying. Some of these myth units are starting to go on down. Good enough Peltas went down to the dragons though. And also starting to run out of favor. He's getting one more. Hoplites now advancing, overrunning the fire archers. Got more of the Tiger Cavalry being established. Takes out the structure there. And with more and more unique crossbow being put on the field, not only they have immense range, get bonus damage to the myth units, but also bonus damage to structures, so they can help hit everything. Getting up life straightforward. These guys only have 80% crush armor, so the heat up light will get some damage for some myth units. Another 20 volts almost available. He is running low on gold. He has plenty of food and wood. He can sell off 1,000 each and go from there. Red has some, or green has some gold wood, but not too much as well. Red needs to start getting some kills front line. He has some bucket caravan to work, of course. There's this unique cross one. Have times 2 multiplier versus myth units at the moment. And then have times 23 multiplier versus structures. Villagers now pushing forward for red. I think he should go focus more on the gold run council. He's trying to get more top cap. Green right now is having trouble maintaining the top cap, and has no protection queue going. Has some resources to work with. More Toxics and Hoplites being summoned. Bulong does start flooding the villagers with water, trying to drown them. Red has that second 20 volt there, which is very important for the gold income. Not mention that hurts with the other income. And the longer games that go on, with a plenty volt production, red may be in better position, unless green gets some good wins, good decisive victories. Council is almost complete. Red's protection queue is still maintaining pretty good. Green is struggling. I wonder, does green now have much production back here? It has some. Nothing too massive. Red has a massive production infrastructure. And green has resigned. This is Angry saying, thanks for watching, and on to the next replay. Some knows as well, I think my audio settings is a little bit messed up on OBS, so I'm going to tone down the game, and hopefully I'll fix some of the audio if there was any issues. Got one person viewing this, I recognize his name, they're good rated players, but the game's a little bit too short for my liking. Nope. That's why the game's localized for so long. They don't know how to fight at that level. Keep an eye on that one. Thanks. It seems like, I don't know why, it feels like some people say something's too loud, some people say it's not. It also may be because my voice tends to change throughout the stream. Probably start out decent, then gets quiet as it goes on. Not sure. This map is so far going for 20 minutes, so let's do this one. Hades Mirror. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age Mythology replay. Spawn bottom side as the blue Hades, we got Broodcorn 8. Spawn north side as the red Hades, we got IK1NGI, or those L's? I have no idea. Either way, this is a Hades mirror matchup, so let's take a quick look at Hades himself. Focus on ranged soldiers and buildings. Possible shades. We've got more hit points from myth units. Ranged soldiers get +1 range and line of sight, and fortification +2 range, and ballistics and burning pitch are free. When it comes to the minor gods, I'm more favored towards Ares. Athena provides a very powerful Age 2 god power and restoration. The Minotaur is an okay myth unit. Nothing too particular, just a solid frontline unit. The Aegis Shield increases pierce armor for infantry, and a Hades matchup, that's actually is an important upgrade. And of course got Hoplites increase range and melee damage. Ares provides Pestilence, which was nerfed from Gold Edition. Cyclopes is an even better frontline than Minotaur, who now costs gold rather than food. They actually have the same cost now, and I think Cyclopses are better. Spear of Panic is Hoplites and Prodromus bit of divine damage, which is very nice. Bypass is enabled early and increase your damage, and Toxdays give your increased damage for your Toxdays. Just King, I reckon. These things. I'm not sure what you're saying right there. My apologies.
Έτοιμος.
Looks like Red does find some goats. Goats are, of course, the goat. Finds 12 goats versus 9 goats. And I do hear some rugs being picked on up. Ajax is find the turf rings and green swords. Give your heroes a lifesteal. Not too particularly useful for Greek heroes, honestly. Head Orifice improves when line of sight. That's really not useful. It's okay, but it's not that great. Feather Zhengwei provides a trickle of wood, which is excellent. And of course we have Feathers of Fenrir. Make your villagers have better melee damage. So not great either. We've got Ares versus Athena, so the mirror matchup has become less of a mirror matchup. I reckon. Let's see. I meant the player name. Oh, got it. Sorry, oh yeah, now I see the word king with bars. Oh, that could be bars rather than L's, isn't it? The bar symbol is the vertical line underneath the backspace. Norm the Minotaur is advancing. Cyclops is going to be trying to engage. Villagers shanking the scout. Villagers get knocked away from the Minotaur, keeping them alive. Ajax runs past the Minotaur. And the Minotaur could have got 2 villager kills there. Achilles trying to hit the Minotaur now. Let's see, 17-1 versus 16, 1.4. So the Minotaur did have more DPS, but the Cyclops has crush damage, which is something you could always use in H2.
Λέγε.
The Cyclops can pick up the Hippus, and it's probably a good idea. Achilles getting distracted by Ajax. Does pick off one of those villagers there. Hippus gets thrown away from the villagers. That's one to keep your villagers safe. Just throw the cavalry away. Achilles is taking on the Cyclops. And the Cyclops offers a pretty good healthy health pool. Minotaurs have, what, 400 HP? Cyclops have nearly 700. They're a very good front line. I definitely do rate Cyclops is better than Minotaur. And since now the Minotaur costs gold rather than food, and have the same cost as Cyclopses, means it makes the Cyclops a bit more convenient because food collection is either constant through farms or better through delicious venison. As you can see, we spotted these deer.
Πρόσταγμα.
Mine upgrades do have the watchtower. Keep watch of everything. Both players have not summoned their what's called sentinels just yet. Couldn't do it until this was fully built. And since we're back in the eco phase, I'm going to just fast forward slightly. Red's deployed out his sentinels. I disagree with that. Wait until a raid has come. Both players have second town center, but Red is keeping on the military. Played Mythology a long time ago. I remember the Cyclops giants. That's the Egyptians. The Petrusos. If you want a whole thing or rant about Petrusos, watch Giant Grant Games. Actually, you probably would like that video either, regardless. Giant Grant Games retrospective of Age of Mythology. It is 3 hours 33 minutes long. It's a good channel.
Πρόσεχε.
Achilles there. Because apparently the word term Petrusos is actually a mistranslation, an ancient Greek mistranslation of Egyptian dialogue, so it was actually a mistranslation thousands of years that even lasted until years later. No, until about a couple years later, years ago. Blah. That's the term I'm looking for. Pegasus receiving some fire. We do now have Aphrodite being queued up by Hades. I probably should mention what the minor guards are. You got Apollo and Aphrodite. Aphrodite does provide a very powerful god power, Curse. Nini Line's a pretty good crowd control. Bit of a weaker side, but still nice to have. Divine Blood makes your villagers move faster, build faster. Your town centers work rate, and of course makes them carry faster, so it's better for economic. And Golden Apples make them collect more favor. Yeah, it was 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 33 seconds. Now I remember the length of the video. You also did another one for Warcraft 3 that was 4 hours, 44 minutes, and 44 seconds. Yeah. Looks like got another bit of change up there. We've got Apollo versus Aphrodite. He explains how Ensemble Studios did everything so mostly right, like 99% right when it comes to Age of Mythology. And talking about Apollo, forgot to mention him. We of course got another very powerful god power, Underworld Passage. A very powerful myth unit, a ranged myth unit, Manticore. Oracle, it's not great, makes your villagers see farther. Temple Healing, it's decent, not particularly strong. Sunray, it also affects myth units, so this is a pretty good mythological upgrade. Also % damage on all ranged units, both hero or both myth unit and human soldiers. Good for the Manticore. And the ship technology. Basically I put a lot of value in the Manticore in Sunray. Manticore is one of those myth units you can mass summon and be very good. And since it's a ranged myth unit and not flying, only Chiron could be able to range it or attack it from range. And movement speed's not bad. It's just a good backline DPS one. And probably enjoys head pats. You now have a fortress being established here. Prodromos being established, the counter cavalry unit, very nice. Do have, of course, Hispanic Fear of Phobos. Since Red has gone for Apollo and Ares, he has one upgrade improved Toxade's damage by 10%, another upgrade can improve their damage by 15%. So his Toxade is going to be very effective. Pegasus does get shot up a little bit there. And of course, Blue's going a bit more economical. Does have, of course, Athena, which is good for your hoplites and range armor. That range armor is going to be important in this matchup. Hoplites are a good generalist unit, of course. And when it comes to Aphrodite, it makes your villagers better, so you may add to age up for the Colossus in order to really utilize that favor generation. Not Colossus, the... Why don't we talk about this? Hepatitis, or however you pronounce his name. Plenty Vaults, very good. Olympian weapons make your unique range unit better. And of course, make your army attacks cheaper so you can skimp out on that. Artemis, of course, provides excellent god power of Earthquake as well. And we've got some sentinels established in the center map around the fortress here. This one's in pretty good protection position, while the other two providing here. Not a bad spot for the sentinels. Though it's more meant to good against harassment, so it's better put around town centers rather than fortresses, but since opponent's not been aggressive, you gotta be a bit more overt with the sentinels.
Hetimos.
I'll need to get... oh yeah, wait, you get Burning Pitch and Ballistics automatically for free, right? Oh, either way. Oh, there goes the Pegasus. I have a feeling Red's probably going to age up with Artemis to get access to more bonus damage for the ranged soldiers. Ignore the poison damage over time. That damage is absolutely worthless. Sounds like a bear went down. Yep. The bears are being unbearable. And I have a feeling Blue will go for the Colossus, Sunray, and the Enro's board for Bow of Horror being queued on up. Heavy upgrades for blue.
Like it.
We got Cursed by red. Got a whole bunch of piggies. The wee it's all the way new home. It looks like he will obtain them. And since it's not the campaign, you can't necessarily take them back home to the temple and convert them back. You just have to eat them. Don't worry, human and pig meat are very similar, so you shouldn't taste any difference. Manticore or Nemean Lion roaring away, screaming like in the front line like a cat would. Manticore is taking out Achilles. Achilles does go down there. Numbertox stays fine in the back line. The Sentinel is still firing away. Not great DPS, just okay DPS. Nemean Lion's still alive, but barely. 2 health. A little less than barely. Hoplite and Hypasus now being deployed in the field. Hypasus is of course a counter infantry unit there, which both sides have a good number of hoplites, so Hypasus is probably a good call. Blue is lacking Lord's Numbertox, so red could simply... A lot of Peltas to counter this one's range units, of course. Blue's trying to mix in some Hippus, not a bad idea. Red's Hippus Whoop or a counter unit, the Podromos will be better since he can get divine damage onto them. Maybe Red should research Healing Temple and deploy another temple over here. It's one of those cases where the longer the games goes on, the Healing Temple would pay for itself restoring all this health. Probably come out cost effective. How much does Favor does Healing Temple cost again? Control Favor.
Like it.
It will probably be cost even, which is still probably a good idea. Then way you can you get more effects later on. Red is aging for Artemis, going for full range damage. Right now, Toxic is doing 9.6 as copper weapons versus 8.1, which also has copper weapons. So you can see quite a bit of difference there. And it looks like I did guess correctly. We got Hepatus versus Artemis. We also do now have the Hypasus increased damage by 50%. I just generally find Ares is a little bit better. Though the increased range armor for from Athena is useful in this engagement. If it was researched. Probably should research that sooner rather than later. You see your opponent going for... you're fighting against Hades. You know you're fighting against range damage. You improve all infantry, melee infantry. More Peltas, more Toxates by red. Once the age is up, could mix in some as unique crossbowmen. Unique crossbowmen at least have good anti-structure damage at least, as well as able to outrange stuff like the Sentinels and the Fortress. It will almost be the same range as the Petrobolos. I think it gets up to like 26 range or 25 range. Sentinel gets easily destroyed there. Normal Minotaur advancing. You do have the full Minotaur upgrade. Pestilence deployed in the field reduces Proton's production rate by 50%. Hypasus taking... Oh, can't really see it from right there. Achilles goes down for red. Or blue's Achilles does go down as well. Both players have Chiron in the field. Restoration 12 by blue. Red should just fall back from that. As next to Earthquake, I don't think one should go over here is a good idea. I think actually tasking a Pixel head around back and drop it on the housing would be good. Let's pull it out right there. Gain some damage on this stuff. That was a lot of
Lege.
Shades I just heard. Another round of Sentinels, that's a bad idea. Sentinels are anti-rating force, not an anti-arm force. They are weaker than a Watchtower. And like even less durable. 250 health versus 600. Not to mention lower DPS. Yep, don't rely on Sentinels. Like I said, they're anti-rating, not anti-army. And plus, against Hades, for which every single one of his regions has Burning Pitch for free, means they don't stand a chance.
Heading.
Red's starting to break out and break into his opponent's base. Blue's trying to fall back, regroup. So that's the secondary town or quad tertiary town center there. But having trouble re-maxing out. Blue's maintaining maximum population. And Red also only has one less town center at the moment.
Prostagma.
Chimera engaging Ajax. Iron upgrades and bronze upgrades, very nice. All the other upgrades here. Achilles taking some damage there. Shafts of Plague being researched as well. Oh, my apologies. You heard my drink open up. We're starting to push forward with a reinforcement arc. Mostly high passes with some Peltas in reserve. Both our counter force. Toxates will report the high passes, no problem. Perseus turns the Colossus to stone and ripping apart. And the Colossus has been turned to stone. It was made out of gold. Though then again, didn't he get the silver nor gold Colossus, so it probably was made out of bronze. Fortified towns are now being built. First, just turns something else to stone, probably a man. Chiron getting hit pretty hard there. Toxates are advancing. These are just quite stark. We got Peltas with 8.8 versus Peltas versus just 10. And of course the pitiful poison damage. As far as that structure there, of course, the fortified town center, going for Perseus and Achilles now. Both sides have private and military forces in the field, but Red does not at max population cap just yet.
Πρόσταγμα. Ετοίμος.
Perseus taking some damage there. And smoothly sort of just thrown away there. Some of Blue's forces getting peeled on off, and these forces will be killed off pretty easily. Lower Peltas, Hypasus, Toxates being blown up by Red. Blue just going for a good number of hoplites and advanced fortification. Coinage being researched as well. Heliopoli or Petrobolus engaging town center. Red's health has to be hit by multiple high passes. Big round shades when going on the field. And Townsend does go down. Red's still not in max pop cap. Neither is blue at the moment. Trying to go for some cavalry, going for heavy cavalry. I'm going to try a big round of Hippus. Red is not having siege weapons that quickly. Oh, there's siege weapon to deal with the fortress. Which rolls when it comes to DPS against structures is 41 versus the Heliopoli's 75. Of course, it's much less range. It should be a big garrison for more DPS, right? More Heliopoli being established. Iron armor as well. Got the boiling oil resource for blue. Those villages get ripped apart. Oh, task 4. Blue has a nice little reserve of shades on the field to throw some shade as opponent. Fortress being established there and here. But once we hit, Blues go for restoration. But I think it's a little bit not necessary at the moment. Units are mostly getting focused on one at a time. Not much healing actually was done there. More forces trying to establish the front line. Another Perseus Medusa head. Turning somebody in a face that only a mother could love. Fortress takes some hits there. Fortress takes some damage there. Do you have a Chiron, another Perseus being established. High passes, Peltas, and more Hippus. Over here got Toxdays, Hippus, and Villagers. The fortress does go down. And Perseus getting shanked by some Villagers. Once the structure being established or destroyed, there's goldness on the map, so this is a high point of contention. Red right now doesn't have much or any gold left on his side of the map. On the center, blue has none as well. So both players have to fight for the gold in the center. Hip established right there. Hippus does find a nice little flank there. Probably good transition by blue. They're trying to go another fortress here. Archery is getting hit. And blue's going to try to steal another town center. The number of shades in the front line for blue. Red shades is all just being stacked up and queued up. We have now another restoration point by blue. Red is not going for too much favor production. Blue, of course, has gone for Aphrodite, so more favor production there. Could have eyed for us in Plenty Vault. More shades being pushed forward now. Overall, looks like blue's starting to gain some ground. More shades being set by red. Blue's going for now some of his unique crossbowmen as well as heli Petrobolus. And looks like red has resigned his hand grade, saying thank you for watching and on to next replay. Feel like a sneeze is coming up. Let's see now. Any names I recognize down here? Nope. Could I for this one? It's at least 30 minutes. Although I just did that map twice. Here we go, we'll do this one here. Greetings everyone, and great here for another Age Mythology replay. Spawn on the left side is the blue Hades, we got Deimos. Spawn on the right side is the red Uxie, we got Snackbutt. Of course, when it comes to Smash Up, both of them do sell a bit of range, but of course Nuwa does offer some cavalry focus. When it comes to the base gods, we do have Hades, which is focused on ranged soldiers and buildings. Bit of shades, we got more hit points for myth units, range and line of sight for ranged soldiers, increased range for his fortifications with free ballistics burning pitch, very nice. Nuwa does provide focus on peasants, the unique villager Kafus, and defense. Favored lands automatically, foundations automatically constructed on favored lands. Building spread favored line range by 1 further, and of course plus 10% cavalry hit points, so she is definitely a bit more focused on cavalry. When it comes to the initial minor gods, we got Athena's and Ares. So in this case, Hades could eye for a bit more counter cavalry, but still have to worry about, like, say, Chukonus and other fire archers as a common unit. Range Pierce armor here can be quite nice, as well as increase your hoplite range and damage to help deal with cavalry. I'm more biased towards Ares myself, though Restoration is a good god power. Primarily through the Spear of Panic gives hoplites 1 divine damage, as well as Prodromos, the counter cavalry unit, 1 divine damage as well, which could multiply quite nicely. High passes enabled early plus 50% damage shouldn't be too important in this matchup, but Toxa's having plus 10% damage does complement Ares' range focus as well. We do have Zuan Nu being queued on up. I'm going to slow down as the stuff starts aging up. Zuan Nu does provide the Vanished God power, the Quillen, a mobile healing myth unit similar to Valkyries. Divine Books makes your training yards cheaper and trains unit faster, which is very nice. Not the training yard units, or it just makes the training yard itself cheaper. And of course you get some free units every so often that replace your lost ones. So 1 every 5, which is similar to Hades Shades, which is probably better, honestly. Scale is probably better. Oops, my apologies, I hit my microphone. Ajax summoned. We do have now Athena deploy being queued on up as well. And we got the creation there. You summon some clay peasants, some terracotta peasants, iron to deploy some structures, military camp, and machine workshops. What can a machine workshop build in this age? Ah, yeah, that's where you get the fire archers. I always forget it's on the training yard. Training yard can be built very quickly. It does give access to the frontline swordsman, counter cavalry, and a counter range. Faye Pleasant still have a bit of time to work with if he wants to go for more stuff. Going for some Dallas Swordsman, just a frontline swordsman. Well, it's a bit heavy in gold, cheap in food, which can be not great. Push for some clay peasants, maybe I deployed some proxy towers. Or at least just trying to use a bit of meat shield. Meat shield is, they do offer ×4 damage versus towers, so that can be quite nice. Got some sentinels here to help protect himself. No watchtowers, so the sentry tower is not super important. Sentinel's taking some damage there. Got some fire archers to help engage it. It is classified as structure rather than myth unit, so it does not receive bonus damage from heroes. And it does use advantage god power to save the colon. Not sure if that was used to save that one, but it was utilized. And the creation is still active. Don't know if any of those clay peasants are still around though. Ajax here, and we do have watchtowers here, so he has some extra defenses. Idle village here is not good. Ajax and Achilles push right forward to engage these Dowel swordsmen. Getting some military academies now. Let's have some Toxates being queued up as well. Toxates probably have a good call, help deal with the Dowel swordsmen, as well as being effective with his fire archers. Achilles is going after the Quillen, 27 health. They may get smited down next attack, because it looks like it's going to be about 80 damage, barring hack armor. Starting to heal himself. And it looks like they do have the same movement speed, so. Watchtower and Sentinel over here. Norm the Minotaur has been called back. Pioneer's trying to engage Norm the Minotaur. They're like similar to Ajax with a ×11 multiplier. Oh, this is a Tusk of Dan Kang. It does give them free pigs, and that is infinitely something. You don't have to immediately butcher them. They immediately butcher them. Another idle villager over here. Who's at pop cap, which is a bit of a problem. Needs to build some more housing. And also lacking food for more villagers. In fact, has very little villagers on food at the moment. The chickens are being obtained. You have to go up north to these boar. Or start eating the goats. Red's starting to fall back a little bit. Going for husbandry. Red's not trying to commit anything. Blue has a decent defense force, and regardless which flank red attacks, there's going to be extra defensive structures here. And push too far in, then the backline sentinels will also provide some fire support. Looks like red's going to make a commitment up north. Some of these villages are starting to go on down. Now noticeable, since the temple is down, these shades will not spawn, but I believe they still get queued. So in theory, there could be a shade bomb if it builds another temple. One way you can throw some shade at the opponent. The opponent gains some nice health regen there, nice aura health regen. Restoration summoned by blue. Northern there got a pretty good attack there. Achilles not focused on the Quillen. Scout's also in the mix. Of course, Peltas is an age 3 unit, so can't pull out Peltas to counter all of all of these units. May need to get out a stable, gets out some Hippus. These additional defensive structures are going down. Another Quillen on the build queue, going for some more Dowel swordsmen. More hoplites, more toxitates. We do have now, it looks like a Quillen upgrade. Increase their healing rate by 5 and increase their radius by 5, and that's going to be a massive radius. I don't know if the aura effect stacks. Usually aura effects don't stack, but maybe they do. Randy wants to eyeing from medium. Yep, he is eyeing from medium infantry. Very nice. I don't think Blue should be eyeing these military or economic upgrades until the defense is successful. But he will be getting it. You now have Age Up queued on up. Go Mong. Not enough resources for it. Hades is also lacking food. It's going for Sarasia and Aegis Shield. Watchtower's gonna go on down now. Sentinel's gonna go on down there. Achilles is almost knocked out. Another Ajax being summoned. Ajax does get knocked out there. One of the Quillens do go down. The other one's pretty close to death. Tox stays in pretty good numbers. Fire Archers will not counter Tox stays, but he does have some Hell Javeliers to counter them. And he has rebuilt the temple there, so does summon a handful of Shades. Tox stays in pretty good numbers right now. Fire Archers will have trouble versus them. Yeah, right now 4.4 DPS versus 6.6 with a slower DPS, so 6. These forces being healed on up. These forces not really being pursued, just are supported, so did lose some a bit unnecessarily. We now have Gomong being deployed on the field to give him a unique myth unit that's more close to a siege weapon. We got some farms being established by Blue. Blue has quite a bit of infrastructure being established up here as well. Start collecting up berries and all that sort. Blue has 2 towns and villager queues going. Red has been so focused on the assault that has not been paying attention up north whatsoever. Blue are now 65 versus 49. Got some siege crossbows being established now. Villagers falling fall back. A couple sentinels in the back line provide some fire support. Nothing too significant though. Tao Wu push forward. Kulin takes some damage there. Ajax trying to hit the Tao Wu now. He decides to charge around. Blue has a staggering number of these Toxtates in the field. Blue team is trying to engage. Tao Wu sounds like the high DPS versus human soldiers. Trying to go for a silo here, probably for that, what's it called, the favored lands effect. Tao Wu knocks around these forces. He's going for the force protection, but this is on the silo, which is not resilient at all. But we'll get some good coverage. Townsend, of course, has been destroyed. Of course, sells this other Townsend and sells more civilian it's on the field. Red does have a larger force in the field, going another clone, going more fire archers. Blue's now going to be eyeing for Aphrodite. Curse God Power will probably be deployed immediately upon aging up, just to help call these numbers. Sentinel's gone down there. Looks like New Wu is out of gold and is going to have extreme trouble to maintain this push without that gold. Going for the Tao Wu, which does cost food and more Javeliers. So Red's gold needs to be rectified. Looks like got a good wave of villagers heading down south for the winter. Temple takes some damage here, pulls back the villagers. Blue has a nice number of villagers. Blue's not aging up, does not get the free Nemean line since he has lost his temple. Though Chiron right now would be quite nice up to all these myth units at range. And now he finally has access to the Pelcast, exactly something he's been needing for quite some time. And has established another town center over here. Fortress being established back here. I wonder if Red has spotted that town center. Probably not. Nope. Not even scouted out. He is aware of this town center here, at least. Oops, I actually had the game paused. I hit the pause button. More hoplites. Got levies being researched by Blue, as was going for heavy ranged units. Copper breastplate for Red, and is on age up again, going for Gong for the Quilong. Blue's army's coming a little bit piecemeal, that's not great. But he has a pretty good queue of forces there. Does use the Vanish God power to help hide these forces. I don't think there's any way to reveal them. Nothing to spot them. 20 seconds it'll last. Blue needs to... Actually, you could keep an eye on this unit there. You can see the Tao Wu is slow in the formation. Is a pretty slow myth unit. The siege crossbow's not exactly any faster as well. Oh, and there, somehow the garden just now activated there. That does take out the structure there, so no more garden or forest protection. You now have the Zhang Zia being queued on up, as well as a sage. Fortress being established over there. Villagers taking some damage there. Toxa's getting hit. Tao Wu decides to barge in through everything. First summon there. Tao Wu still causing problems there. There's still a decent number of units there. Chiron charges way forward. Blue's army got quickly disintegrated there. Red's army is 138 versus 71 at the moment. Golden Apples Museum just was fortified town center. Fortified towns have now flown a field, help even the max population issue. I passed this and Shade's being summoned. Toxie is trying to gauge the White Horse Cavalry. Looks like a mirror image of a Shade. I'm not sure what actually got converted, or whatever that was. Siege crossbows push forward, trying to go for some counter siege actions, getting hit by the Petropolos. It looks like it has held on. Shades are advanced trying to get these Javeliers. Blue's trying to regroup his forces. Shades being summoned in large numbers. Red's a pop cap once again. Needs to eye for this town center here. We got some red piggies here that can be eaten. Red right now has a massive stockpile of gold, has no food though, nor wood. Red is a little bit low on everything, but has some gold reserve. More of a float than a reserve. Cavalry's some big picked off there. Now it's the counter range versus counter range. We got a number of fire archers in the front line. Petropolos charging too far forward. More shades being summoned now. Blue's trying to fall back there, trying to regroup his forces. Got 52 versus 96 military units in the field. There's still a good number of Javeliers in the field. It now has an army of 104. And not pop cap. Blue has an army of 61. Of course, not a pop cap either. Siege crossbows now trying to hit the fortified town center. Hoplites and Shades now trying to take out some of the siege weapons. Peltass push way forward. Pioneers, of course, classified as range. They take bonus damage from the Peltass. So does the Zhang Zaya, so Peltass will do bonus damage versus him. Ajax here intercepting the Quillen, while the cavalry takes out the Petrobolos. Looks like Blue's now trying to obtain this town center there. Pigs will perhaps spot this. Red and Blue may want to get out some more fortifications over there. Got Restoration deployed by Blue to top off everything's health. Very nice. The cavalry still causing issues with Peltass. Couple hoplites straight forward. At this point in time, I think you may want to go for more Dromos. Chiron does take out the Quillen there, while Siege crossbows are pushing way forward. Another Tao Wu now being put on the field. Red's trying to fall back down south. These forces are trying to fall back away from Blue as well. Siege crossbows starting going down, Tao Wu advancing. More production being established here. Tao Wu charges way forward or backwards. And you've got crenellations not being researched. Gold and food reserve has been consumed. Tao Wu charge way forward, knocking around everything. And Blue's trying to fall back. Some of the Peltass being hit by the various units. More Peltass, more hoplites. Chiron or Achilles being redeployed. Or the Tao Wu's being summoned. And the temple is receiving fire from the Petrobolos, which does get knocked out by the White Tiger Cavalry. Or White Horse Cavalry. I keep on combining the two names. You got the Tiger Cavalry and the White Horse. Not the White Tiger. Fortress now under fire. Shades do not do bonus damage from myth units like most myth units, because they're meant to be free and cheap and not great. Start to knock around more of those units now. It's starting to be picked off there. Right now, Blue has an army size of 126 with an army size of 55. Red right now just having only seen Q of his units, which is not great. And Blue is starting to get out some donkey caravans, not a bad idea. Siege crossbows have gone down. Does of course have the burning pitch upgrade, or will get it for free once he ages up again. Oh wait, is it because... No, Burning Pitch is H3, right? Never mind. If Split 6 H3, Burning Pitch H4, blah. That's what it was. I don't know why I keep on thinking Burning Pitch is H3. Well, the cavalry being picked off one time. Red has an army size of 11. Has enough resources of various stuff, so I'm not sure what he's eyeing at the moment. I think he's just out of production structures, isn't he? Yeah, he's actually out of production structures. He's been going for a single queue of stuff. It's slowly being picked off one at a time. Ajax is stabbing villagers. And since Red never really invested in his infrastructure, since he's had some of the front line over here, never really utilized it all too much. Going for more white cavalry. Apologies with my microphone. Farms are under siege as well, under threat. And Red has resigned. The Sand Grade saying, "Keep watching," and on to the next replay. Let's see. Please give me a moment. I'm going to reach down and grab a energy drink. There we go. On to another replay. Let's see, any of these names seem familiar? Jarl Drago does. Let's see. I'll just start from the bottom and start going upwards. See which ones oops, I didn't mean to double click on that. Oop. I hit the red button instead of the leave button. I think my mouse is starting to break where it does that issue where you get double clicks. Let's see, yeah, this one's not highly rated. Nope. Nope, even lower. Nope. Nope. Again with double click. Yep. I think it's about time I need to get a new mouse. Let's see. Actually, that's a good one. And why can I double click on that one? Then again, I'll still back out because I wasn't sure the ranking. Greetings everyone, and Great here with another Age Mythology replay. Spawn on the top right side as the blue Gaia. We got Squanto, who's using the better Gaia profile picture. On bottom left side as the red Zeus, we've got ///////. And we got immediate economic guild into the economic upgrades. And when it comes to the matchup, Gaia's course is the economic building major god. You start off heroic citizens, promoting them to hero is cheaper. Economic guilds and the guild itself and the technologies within it are 35% cheaper and can research an age earlier, so you get all your economic techs in a heroic age, which I think combos quite well with Rhea's consecrated horns, which gives your fanatics early. And let's see, of course you get Lush for some health regen. Zeus is, of course, the myth unit? Minor god, or major god? Where is he? There he is. Infantry and heroes start with favor, gain favor 20% faster, myth units cost 1 less population, and infantry do 6% more damage versus buildings, and hoplites move faster. Very nice. When it comes to the minor gods, come on now. Oh, that's why I couldn't use the hotkey. He was going for Athena. He had the button queued on up. Gaia, of course, is going a little bit slower age up. Going with those early economic upgrades. Go for Oceanus or Leto. I'm more biased towards Leto. Spider is a good minor god power, able to instantly kill off 3 human soldiers. And of course you get more range armor, which maybe not as important versus Zeus, but still, Zeus still goes for range units. And better oracles. Versus Weightless Mace, which is a counter cavalry upgrade. Mermello's effect applies 5% more damage, which is not super important, and make your infantry's promotions cost less. She is going for Oceanus. Notice the scout is getting some good damage there onto the oracle. Cologion up on the field can start healing that oracle who's still inside the manor. Oracle heading down south. Looks like Red's eyeing for another town center. Going for more eco as well, so I'm going to fast forward once again. Counter barracks and regular barracks deployed in the field. Going for counter range units and Mermellos. Another Clodger on the field as well. Flying healers can also slow down scenario opponents, which is very nice. And going for a big round of heroes. When I say big round, I mean 3. Which at this age, it's actually a lot. I wonder if there's any relics out for support this. Oh, has gone for all 4 relics. Oh, very nice. Do have the Feathers of Fenrir, make your villagers have 30% increased damage, which actually is quite nice for the Atlantean citizens, so they can do their part better. Ospur Wagon, I heard, is one of the strongest relics in the game. Makes the caravans cheaper, move faster, so not only they're more effective, they also makes them cheaper. And more bonus damage for buildings for human soldiers. That's okay. It's nice, not bad. And myth units get increased speed, which is not super powerful.
Skopos.
Actually,
UJ.
Could be nice for some of these units there, since Clodger gets moved to 5.3. Termas and Kerrison are 5.3, so they can now keep off Termas. So that's a little bit transformative. That's quite interesting, though that's heroic Termas as well.
Burek.
Sentry tower is starting going down. Got archery range, barracks. You do now have Hercules here. Sentry down.
Skopos.
One Clodger's coming over here for a bit of scouting. We'll spot a whole lot of nothing, honestly.
Skopos.
Red has all this stuff up here. Looks like Blue probably does not have that explored. Can't say the town center has actually been seen or not. Not so sure how well the switch between vision or not works. Definitely does not see all the infrastructure. We've got Norman, Mentor, and Jason over here. They're not going to last all too long. Zeus does have a bolt, but it seems like a better way is using Caladria. Norman Minotaur knocks back those forces there, buys some time for the village to escape. So Norman Minotaur is in fact a hero, or should I say myth, in the legend. We do now have the Mermellos engaging the granary now. We'll be able to take that no problem. Got some wet deer here. That's gotta taste disgusting. Yeah, I mean, I don't think you should collect up deer if they're soggy. Oh, I just getting sick to think about that. Soggy deer. Should I put that to Google? Let's see what the AI says. Is it safe to eat a deer if it's soaking in a pod? Oh, that sounds horrible. And plus they're also gutted, so it'd be also water getting all in the insides as well if you think about it. Either way, the Mermello's taking out the housing here. He's being a bit of a homewrecker. Zeus does need a housing there. If one house goes down, he'd be effectively a pop cap. If 2 goes down, he will definitely be a pop cap. Armory has been established by Blue. Blue is starting to fall back there. Got copper upgrades for Blue now. Got the Olympian parentage. And it's got some Toxdays and Hoplites. Carnivore can still be summoned, and another Gyre Force can be summoned as well. Chickens being obtained. These citizens are wizards. They turn chicken into chicken.
Skopos?
As far as heading down the south, Termo's definitely going to be a good call for solid Toxdays. I've got serrated blades research, so now these Marmellos do a bit of bleed damage, which is still not great. It's like 2 damage over 3 seconds. Blue does have another town center over here. Citizens backing up off. They're cleaning up not soggy gazelles. Frontline heroics, more Marmellos. Economic stage upgrades being researched by Red. Marmello does get taken out there. Calagria took a nice volley there. Triple Calagria there. And looks like Ajax or Jason and Hercules taking out some of these Calagias. Taking rips them apart pretty quickly. One does get a nice high heal there. Carnivore summoned there. Restoration being fought as well. Carnivore gets destroyed. Termos taking time to pick off some Toxdays. Got some Marmellos back here. Northern Minotaur is still alive. Jason's taking a bit of damage now. The bleed effect is not doing much at all. The bleed effect is so worthless. Even more so than the, or even well less so than the poison.
Blu-ray.
Because 2 damage over 3 seconds is not much, and I'm pretty sure it does not stack whatsoever. Town center does get destroyed there. Citizen goes down. She has done her part. Cherry Ballista and more metals being employed in the field. Cherry Ballista is going to be pretty nice for these Toxdays. Citizens starting to go on down here. Number of heroes here. Takes out 2 citizens there. Gets on the wrong side exit as well. Go through the back door, not through the front door. Cherry Ballista doing some decent damage. It's going to get overrun by the Toxdays and by Hercules. Yeah, if you look at the Hoplite's health here, you can see it took like 2 bleed damage. Not a lot at all. Maybe 3 at most. Still, not great. These forces now starting to fall back. You see a bunch of these heal marks here. I think there is a bug when it comes to the effects of Lush. For me, 1, it drains my frame rate by a significant amount, the Lush effect. 2, it looks like there was some healing splashes there as well, so I think the Lush effect needs perhaps a optimization thing to say to look at. Because right now my frame rate is holding around 30, which is not great. When I go over here, it's only going up to 40 though. Yeah. Don't know why I have trouble playing. I guess because it's a single core game. Maybe there may be something that helps cause frame rate issues. Probably it's usually shadows. This map does have a lot of grass on the field. Blue's trying to push way forward. Red's force here is significant, but very wounded. Villagers getting hit. We do now have Apollo being queued on up, give access to the Manticore, an excellent myth unit, and the Sun Ray, which also gives more bonus damage for all range for all your range units and all your ranged myth units as well, including the Manticore. That restoration was very good. That force was severely wounded. Villagers going to standing, fight against Mermellos. Not exactly great. Turmos and Turbos is not engaging. Red's now aging up. That Manticore is going to be very useful for defense right now. Popeye is trying to gauge Cherry Blossom. Looks like it's going to be successful. Oh, got a large number of heroes there. Got a hero. We do have now Hepatus queued on up. Actually, Zeus is pretty close to aging up again. Gaia's not queued up another minor god. There's a large number of heroes there, so the Manticore will have a bit of trouble. But he is going for Sunray, which improves the damage to the Manticore as well as all the Toxdays and Peltas. Villagers here getting killed on off. Red does have a superior number of villagers, but looks like it's going to rapidly change. 12 there. Yep. Oh, underworld passage there. Saved a good chunk of them. Let's see, where did they exit to? I'm not sure where they exit. Up there they are. Not sure how many saved, but definitely saved at least 75%, roughly. More minerals being pulled up by Blue. And Zeus is aging up to Hepatus. He does also have 8 villagers on favor, which is good. That's the minimum number. Well, he does not have access to Aphrodite's golden apples to prove their favor generation. He has, of course, plus 20% favor protection generation already, so his favor generation is good. Sorry, storing that favor up. Get 2 favor to get the second Plenty Volt. I say 2 Plenty Volts is the number you should really eye for minimum. Though, oops, sorry, hit the microphone. Mermellos are push way forward. He does a number of Toxays at the back line, but high pass is probably best. The Cherry Blitzer right now are being picked off by the Peltas. Oh yeah, Peltas, of course, are anti-range, and the Cherry Blitzer, they're classified both as myth unit or range soldier and siege weapon. So that relic that reduces population space of siege weapons would affect Cherry Ballista by 1. It goes what, from 3 to 2? From 4 to 3, which is very nice. And Zeus will get to age 4 before Gaia's even started age 3. Of course, he will have access to a Colossus, a Bronze Colossus. The Plenty Vault has been summoned, so now Gaia knows what god Zeus has aged up to. I wonder if he's gotten the any blacksmith upgrades. No, he has not, because there is a upgrade here. Forge Olympus, reduce armory tech cost by 75%. Additionally, he could eye for some Myra drones, which have divine damage, so ignores all his opponent's armor. And we do have now Rhea queued up, give access to the Behemoth, as well as Trader. And since she's also playing as Gaia, which means Horns of Consecration, so has all of her economic upgrades available next age, and will have access to the Fanatic next age. Won't up to heavy, but that is a tolerable degree, meaning there's very little things to get in age 4. In fact, the fast heroic Gaia could make use of Rhea to stick around heroic age, the extended heroic age as well. Red starting to advance. Large number of economic or upgrades here. Stockholm resources there. She may be on to go straight to Mythic Age. Heroic Age will at least allow her to get out those
Πρόσταγμα.
fanatics, which they build very quickly. Especially with Hord's Consecration, like the base production speed is like 7 seconds. It gets down to like 5 seconds. I like fanatics. Medium Memellos. Almost seems like he... never mind. I thought they were being promoted right there. Almost looked like it. And does Trader the Colossus there. That is the best target. And bolts it. That was definitely the best target for Bolt. Hands down. Great target for Trader. Great target for the Bolt. Restoration summoned once again. No favor left for Zeus. And Blue does resign there. This Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to next replay. I have probably time for one last replay for tonight. Got a Twitch one here. Too low rank. Could I for that one? 22 minutes. Alright, here we go. Let's do have fun. Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Age Mythology replay. Spawn on the left side is the blue Thor, we got Have Fun. Spawn on the right side is the red Hades, we got P. Woes. Hippopotamus being slain. Delicious hippopotamus. I cannot speak. And looks like red is mini queued up Athena to give access to Minotaur, Lapis Minos, Age of Shield, and Saracia. And Thor in return, who's going to go for a bit of Dwarven Boom, could eye for Force City or Phrasia. Healing Spring gives a great way to heal yourself. You could troll your opponent, because memes. But honestly, they're not bad. They're not Gold Edition trolls. They actually are decent. Hall of Thanes gives your infantry units and heroes more move speed. It's always very nice to have. And of course, we do have the Dwarven Breastplate, which can complement the Blacksmith playstyle for Thor. Also increases, gives you your Berserks, as was your Erdman, increased hack armor. Which against Hades, not as important, who more relies on range units. It's probably better to go with a Phrasia to get access to the more cavalry focus, to be a bit more of a counter unit. And of course, more hero hit points, never half bad. Of course, Hades has aged up with Athena, gives access to Restoration God Power. The Minotaur, Age of Shields increase Pierce Armor, which is also not useful in this matchup since the Norse don't really do range armor or range damage. And Saracia, which gives Hoplites increased range and melee damage. I generally like Ares better, and I think in this case Ares is a better choice. Though Restoration is a good god power, which is probably one reason why people like going for Athena more often. Norn the Minotaur has been summoned. Phrasia is being queued on up. Very nice. The goats are being tasked on home. Goats, of course, the goat. Scout is moving around, and we do have, of course, the Valkyrie there. A couple Herseers there, grabbing some relics, such as the relic of the Bridle of the Pegasus, which gives you a free Pegasus, which is very, very nice. And that's a relic I always like to pick up. And it looks like all the relics have been picked on up. Red has gotten the How, the Bow of Hundi. Gives your ranged units a bit of a snare effect, which is very nice. Ajax will bring home another relic, the Jade Hair. Improves myth unit speed by 5%, which is okay. Depends on which myth unit and how your composition is. Can't say exactly off the top of my head who will best benefit that. And Achilles has another picked up relic, which is the Dwarven Horseshoes, which improves cavalry speed, which is probably better for the Norse situation to pick up, since they're probably have to rely on more cavalry to gauge the Hades range units. Red is immediately queued up Aphrodite, which does give the Golden Apples upgrade, improving your villagers' favor generation, and Divine Blood improves your villagers' carrying capacity and movement speed, making them better at generally at all economics. Less so for gold, good for farming and for natural food, and definitely very good for wood.
Skipan.
You now have the Hammer of Thunder. Valkyrie here does find some giraffes. I wonder how giraffe neck meat tastes. Does break that wall there. Villager, she's getting stabbed. Oh, over here we do have the Scout taking some damage there. Scout is down, not big surprise. Minotaur push way forward with some other forces, of course. My voice is starting to go out. Definitely gonna be my last replay for tonight. The free Pegasus is flying about, very nice. And of course, blue has built a tech secondary town center, so has red. And we've got another Minotaur deployed on the field. Since both players are starting to eco up, we'll go ahead and fast forward a little bit. We do see more raiding cavalry and throwing axemen being pulled up by blue. Toxdays would be good against the throwing axemen. And against the raiding cavalry, of course, it's a little too early to get Prodromos. So hoplites will have to do. Maybe a good idea to age up a little bit quicker to get out the Prodromos. Once Red scouts out the raiding cavalry, probably will get a clue that his opponent's going to go for a bit more of a cavalry focus. Sentinels have not been summoned just yet, which is good. Red is starting to get enough resources to age on up. Blue has some resource reserve, particularly in wood. That is a massive number of raiding cavalry. Time for the Sentinels. One villager may go down there. Does get protected by the other villagers. It looks like Red will hold on without using the Sentinels. Toxday does go down there. Overall, good defense there by Red. May have only lost one villager at most. I think I only heard military units going down. Now this is the more effective raid there by Blue. There's the Sentinels. Good raid there by Blue. Has now 10 villager advantage. Plus military units in the field, so he is vulnerable to a counterattack with Aphrodite in the field. The curse could be used a bit more aggressively. Do have now Brage being employed on the field as well. Roughly the same time, though Aphrodite will be researched first. We've got copper upgrades being researched by Red now. Red has access to both the Restoration and Curse. Blue has access to the Forest Fire, which is be a little bit difficult to deploy on the field. This palm tree could be the target of the Forest Fire. I think this palm tree is going to be necessary for the defense. Ajax does push forward a little bit there. Valkyries push their way forward. Raiding Cavalry push their way forward. Both players now Agion up. This formation could be cursed into delicious piggies. More Goaty and throwing axe and being blown in the field. Longhouse taking a bit of damage there. Red is starting to fall back now. You got some high passes now being queued up by Red. And Serassiera and Heavy Infantry queued up as well. This elephant being dragged to its new home. Grabs my stomach. Got a Nemean line now on the front line, the 3-1, which is very nice to have. We do see both the Divine Blood and the Golden Apples being researched. Zeus has his own free Golden Apple, while the other two have to research Aphrodite to get a similar favorite generation to Zeus. And still got flaming weapons in the field as well. So the next fight could be very volatile. All Red needs to do is stay away from trees. It's the only variable he really needs to control. The next upcoming big fight. Raiding Cavalry pushing up north. Villagers are making their way up north to this town center as well. He's actually mostly going straight for the town center there. And he's going to lose his town center easily. No. Oh. I looked away for a brief moment. It looks like he had 7. I think curse effects up to 8, and managed to get 7 delicious piggies now. Do not worry. Human meat and pig meat have a very similar taste. So you should have no problem eating all the piggies there. Class of Zebras now being obtained here. Not too much food remaining. We've got a decent amount of food up here, so Red needs to migrate up north for that food. There's also, of course, delicious elephants. Obligated not to build a gate so they don't go wandering off. Baboons, of course, are not a great source of food, just a source of food. And we do have age up tire, so he's going straight for age 4. So this will of course give him access to Fimbulwinter, which could slow down his opponent. Of course, he does have the town citizen watchtower or sentinels help defend himself. The watchtower upgrade is not researched. And maybe a good idea to hold off on the Fimbulwinter, wait until a big engagement to get some damage to the back line while his opponent's army's on the front line being occupied. Elephants now being obtained. More high passes, more various research. Thuzian Ruin, improving Mythian speed by 10%, also getting a bit of health regen. Which that upgrade may or may not affect Titans. Times that it does get knocked off there. When the Minotaur getting struck by Aldogodi. Pegasus as well does draw to fire. Good bull charge there. Battle bar bucks around. Flaming weapons being summoned. Restoration to counter. 96 versus 87, so red has a slight numbers advantage. Heavy upgrade just got completed for red. A lot of blue stuff still medium. There's Fimbulwinter, and there's a nice contingent of Fimbulwinter wolves. They do have good damage and health, so they are good supplementary force right now. I mentioned all the issues in the back line. Villagers being bitten by the wolves. And with flame weapons, I don't know if it affects the wolves. I don't see anything that says yes. Winter has decided along with the flame weapons. Red right now has 68 villagers versus 82. Ballista now being summoned by blue as well. There's the Fenris Wolf Brood. In Zodic Doggo. Down south, dwarves mining away. Got a piece of lion there. Red right now has an army size of 54 versus 97, so red is behind. Has queued up Artemis. Forest Fire can still be summoned, which could be a nice little opening in one of these areas. Big line of ballista being queued on up. Ballista do okay versus infantry units. They do offer a good range. Red's going for another Minotaur. Red is basically out of food as well. Sounds like Red's starting to go for some farms there. I hear the Myth unit summoned somewhere. That was probably the Minotaur. Pouncetta goes down once again. Couple Valkyries there. Shades providing a bit of buffer. One of the Petrovols has gone down. The other Petrovols has taken up the town center. Fenris Wolf Brood getting nailed by the Toxace and Chiron. Battle Boar's of course abilities off on cooldown. Reaction against some good damage there. Petrovols engaging the hill forts now. And the battle boar is taking a bit of damage there. Red's doing a good job picking out these units one at a time, even though it feels like Blues should be in a better position right now. Blue still has a lot of medium upgrades, medium infantry, things of that sort. Units starting to be picked on up there. Minotaur push way forward. Does bull rush there, knocks back some of the cavalry. Got great Jarls, aka heavy Jarls. Huskarl's being pushed forward, counter range unit. Achilles been summoned there. Blue Red's right now just trying to get more Huckstays or Hoplites and Poltas. And Blue's just going for a mass ballista army at the moment. Has come to heavy ballista. Right now, just only upgraded by here. Usually, I think Freyr tends to have the better ballista with his unique ways of, or was it Oler? Not Oler. What's it called? The other one, the rock giants. Ager has some good siege weapon buffs. Of course, Thor does have the dwarf boom to help out, and plus he still has a storm gold mine. That's 6,000 gold right there. He can just quickly summon if he ever needs to, so you just keep a hold on to that until he actually needs it. Plus, right now, Thor has a pretty good stockpile of resources. Could go over the Titan. Military forces on both sides is quite similar, but of course blue's starting to get in a better composition, I would say. Petrol's now engaging the fiddle fort over there, very nice. More battle boars pushing forward, just trying to be a nuisance. And they're going to be successful at that. And the Valkyrie is going to try to provide some healing there. Got Ajax here. Looks like Red needs to get out Chiron, help deal with all these battle boars. Go for an Ajax now. Of course, can't be on the front line. Various research here, including some Fenris Wolf Brood. You don't really see too many of them being actually mainly deployed in the field. Wonder how it will go. High Pass is starting to get cleaned on up. Heavy Jarl pushes his way forward. More Ulfsarks, more Herseers, among everything. Red's villagers heading towards the skull deposit. Nope, heading more north. No gate along here. No, there's a gate. Not sure. And here comes the Fenris Wolf Brood. With the rune that they have, they get not only some health regen, but extra movement speed, which they did get spot up here. They have 7.3 move? Stronger and faster. Holy crap. 7.3 move is actually really high. Okay, that's interesting. Never thought about breeding Fenris Wolf Brood. Oh, police the flanks. That could be a way to deal with also various trade caravans. Keep that note for later. Try and make a build around that. That could be very, very nice. Something that Freyr cannot get. Odin, Loki, or no, Loki can't get either. Since Loki can only get Hel or Baldur. What was the other one? I can't remember. This is Angry, and looks like Red has resigned. This Angry is saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay for tonight. So